When you approach a problem to solve, do you ever wonder if there's a better way to get to the solution? Stick around to learn how design thinking can help.
Start it up.
So what is design thinking anyway? Let's take Herbert Simon, the American economist, and something he suggested in the late 1960s. His point of view was design can be a way of thinking. That design is nothing more than moving from an undesirable situation to a desirable one. You design every day, from the clothes you choose to the food you eat. An undesirable situation is, I'm hungry. A desirable one, I'm fed. So you're doing this every day, just at different levels. That is the power of design thinking. Now, what design thinking asks you to do is look at all these problems as interconnected systems to come to a more elegant solution. Now, design thinking is essential to problem solving for two really big reasons. One, it puts people first in the problem solving journey. The closer you stay to the person and their stories, the better the solution will be. Number two, design thinking provides a repeatable process that leads almost virtually to successful solutions. And there are studies to show this, from Stanford University to Fortune 500 companies like PepsiCo. Now, what kind of problems can design thinking solve? Simply put, any. You can look at anything from a business problem to a personal problem. I use it to help my customers solve communication strategies, but I also help my daughter communicate more effectively with her peers. The process is the same, the content is the only thing that differs. And when you see the universality of this, it becomes such a powerful tool. Okay, so how does this work? Let me help you by having you take a look at this graphic. This is called the problem tree analysis. Now, what you see here, the center of the trunk is the problem. And as you look upward, you see all the visible effects of this problem. But if you look down below, there are all the different causes. Now, like in real life, the challenge is really getting to the root causes. You can't see what's underneath. And what design thinking helps you to do is get to the heart, get to the root of that potential problem. And what design thinking provides is the ability to question, do I have everything I need to solve this problem? So let's make this real. The Washington Monument in Washington, D.C. is a great example. There's a group that's responsible for maintaining the monument, and what they saw was that it was crumbling. Little bits and pieces were actually coming off the monument. Now, the group responsible for maintaining the large monument felt that it was the chemicals in their cleaning process that was creating the deterioration. But one lonely design thinker asked, well, why are we so aggressive with the cleaning process? To which most replied, it's because of the pigeon poop. Why are pigeons pooping there? It's an obelisk. There's really no place for a bird to sit, let alone poop. And the group replied, it's because they're there for the spiders. Pigeons love to eat spiders. Okay, well, why are spiders there? Right, there's a lot of foot traffic. That's not a safe place for spiders. Well, spiders are coming there because of moths. Moths are a delicacy to spiders, so they're willing to risk their lives to have that moth. Okay, well, why are the moths there? And the group replied, well, because of the lights. They turn on the lights an hour before dusk, to which the design thinker pointed out, why don't we just turn off the lights? So over the next 6 weeks, the group tested this root cause out. And what they found was that there was an 85% reduction in moths, and which led to less spiders, which led to less birds and their poop. And a wonderful byproduct is that they were able to spend less money on the cleaning and maintenance process. So the design thinking is a powerful way to reframe and get to the root of the real problem. Let me share a little bit of my experience. I was invited to a Silicon Valley company a few years ago to help them with a growth problem. At the time, the company was experiencing a 10x growth. Not a bad problem to have, but what was happening is all these top sellers were trying to respond to these customers and prospects, but were being dragged down by administrative work like contracts and SOWs and that type of thing. And it wasn't that the team was above doing the work, they just couldn't scale fast enough. And even if they did hire people, the onboarding process was just too long in order to really effectively help their clients. So when I entered the building and met their stakeholders, They were already pre-diagnosed as knowing the problem and the solution. They said, Eric, the issue is we need a new piece of software. A new platform would just fix everything and they could go back to selling. Before I even think about solving the problem, I asked 3 questions of my clients. First, do we know this is true? If you make decisions of this type or do this type of research, what does that look like? What I'm trying to unearth are any biases or mental models. Helps me get into the mind to figure out what they've done in the past. Number 2, who else believes it's true? If you've done research, what do the researchers say? Is there context that needs to be said? And so we want to get these people in a room talking and exploring. Lastly, who makes the final decision? Even if you all agree that the problem is what it is, you have to figure out, are you tackling it the same way? Are you coming at the problem from the same approach? If not, it creates misalignment, which creates some real red flags. Design thinking helps surface that. So what did I just learn? Well, asking questions and asking questions again is a great start to using the design thinking approach. But most importantly, you need to keep the person at the center of the conversation. How are we solving for other human problems? But we also want to reveal any biases or mental models that might get in the way of an elegant solution. When you keep the human front and center of the problem-solving journey, you will come to elegant solutions that makes them raving fans. Number 2, design thinking is a repeatable process, and when you use methods like the problem tree analysis, it helps build a universal language to have others join in your problem-solving journey. Number 3, design thinking is about asking questions to get to the root causes. I want you to put this to use today. Download the problem tree analysis template in the description below. Get teams together, your friends, to figure out what you could do using the problem tree analysis. To learn more, check out our links to powerful design thinking books and articles across the internet. We think you'll find these very useful in jump-starting your design thinking process.